Hi everyone and welcome to a brand new video with me, Shruti Vashisht. It's been quite a while. So in today's video, I want to speak about karma. And before I actually get into that, I want to tell you that I'm in this place called Manila in the mountains in the Himalayas in India. It's near Ranikhet. Some of you might know about Ranikhet, especially if you visited India or you live in India. But it's this very serene, quiet place. There's hardly any people here. In fact, we just went to a temple and I have some shots from there that I want to show you that I'll include in this video as well. There's this really beautiful temple and lots of people come here to that temple, so I'll include those clips. But in this video I want to speak to you about karma. So I want to speak to you what karma really is, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to really break free from karma finally, once and for all. What is the real way to actually do it? You may have heard a lot of videos speaking about this, lots of people sharing their views, but I kind of want this video to be a bit more succinct and to really give you the heart and soul of it. What is that one thing basically that you need to do in order to break free from karma, break free from those patterns that you have held over lifetimes, or if you don't believe in lifetimes, then this life. How do you actually break free from it? What is that? If I had to say only one thing about it, what would that be? So I'm going to try and bring through that in this video and perhaps give you examples. So but before I get into that, please check out my websites. I have these different online courses that you can I have these different online courses that you can buy. There's one called Manifest Soulmate Relationships and another one on activating the fifth dimensional vibration. So they're very, very in-depth, 30-day courses, really, really long and very like a complete course, you can say. So please check them out below this video. I also have personal services that you can order and work personally with me with whatever's going on in your life at a personal level. But when it comes to karma, lots of people think that they have done something wrong in their previous lives, or they weren't doing something right, and then now they need to sort of it's like they're having to pay back their dues. And this idea of karma is very flawed actually. The real way that you actually break out of karma, the cycle of karma, is to forgive yourself, is to know that you have not made any mistakes at all, ever. And what do I mean by this? Because some of you might be thinking, well, that's not true. We all make mistakes, and it's fine to admit to that. It's fine to believe that you make mistakes. And yes, on one level, you can believe that you make mistakes. It's fine. We're humans. We're doing something, and let's say if we didn't do it in the highest possible way, then we can hold a regret for it, or we can think that no, there was a better way of doing this. But the thing that holds us within karma is this sense of guilt, and it's very subconscious. It's not even something that is conscious all the time, even for those who are aware. So for example, if you believe that I have bad relationship karma, and all of my relationships don't go well in this life because I did something in my past life, or in my past in this life, and I don't deserve relationships, and you might not realize that you're harboring this belief. And you have to understand that there is nothing that you actually need to do in order to deserve the highest, in order to live a life of what we call dharma, this life of freedom, this life of complete creativity as the master soul that you are, where you have access to all of your powers, to everything on the planet, whatever it is that you want to actually create. So there's nothing that is actually holding you back from that, except for yourself and your belief that you don't deserve it. And that is the only thing that karma really is. If in this moment, right in this moment, without changing anything, without going to your partners to change your relationships, or your career, whatever it might be, without doing a single thing, if you just realize that there is nothing actually more that I need to do, that I am perfect and whole just the way I am, that it's everything that is present right here is perfection. And I am perfect in this moment, and I am completely capable of handling, of utilizing to the fullest whatever is here in my life right now, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. When you realize that, it rids you of this guilt that you have, that you need to become, you need to reach a certain level in order to deserve, you need to reach a certain level in order to understand spirituality, you need to suffer a little bit in order to deserve the right relationship because you did something in your past. And this is not really true. Even if you were the victim in your relationships, let go of that story. These are all stories. Karma is basically a bunch of stories that we have created, that this is what I am, this identity that you have created for yourself, that I am born in this life, I have these diseases, so this is my life. Like, I'm a person who suffers from disease, I have a lot of them. I'm someone who attracts them somehow. I'm someone who attracts bad people, or whatever it might be, and even the concept of being a healer, like many people associate themselves as being a healer, that I've had many wounds in my life, and so now I'm a healer, and it's my karma to sort of just do this, to keep healing myself and to keep healing people. So whenever you're thinking of that, I need to keep healing, I need to keep perfecting, this is not a state of enlightenment. This is not a state of being in your self-mastery. And anything but that, anything but being present right here in the moment, is basically what we call karma. Because you're holding yourself back. You have created a certain identity for yourself. Even those people who are relatively happy in their lives, they don't have, any big troubles as such. The moment that you limit yourself to a certain identity, like let's say you have lots of money and now you've identified yourself as this rich person, this person who goes to parties, who gets attention, who does whatever that it is that they're doing, but is this more narrow association of that this is what I am and this is all that I am. So when you associate yourself with this is all that I am, that is limiting, no matter what it is, whether it's something that makes you suffer, whether it's something that in the moment is still bringing you some sort of advantages, because what you are at your core is a multi-dimensional being. I made another video before which is talking about the original cause, and the original cause is basically in one line. I'll link the video up here. Please do watch it. It's a very important video. It'll be up here or up here. I forget again which side it is, but check that video out because it's an important one. And the idea of the original cause is the idea of separation from source. When we are born from source, when we are born from prime creator, from all that is, whatever you want to call it, when we're first born and we're born into a physical body, it is an experience of something more limited, and then in the beginning we're very excited about it before it happens, but then we sort of go through the void and this darkness, which is actually nothing scary, but then the soul feels scared, feels alone, feels because it used to be a part of everything, so everything was it. So there was this unity, this sense of belonging, and then suddenly you lose that in a sense, and you never actually really lose it, but there's this experience of now there's a part of me that is separate from source. And then when you totally identify with that part in a moment, even when you're scared, even if it's for a while, that I am alone, I have no one, I am there's just this darkness, there's just this abyss, and that is the experience we go back to again and again and again whenever we are sad, whenever we're going through these turmoils in life, but what you might not realize is that this plays out at a more subtle level all the time in most people. If it didn't, then everyone would be so-called enlightened, or living their mastery fully. And so our job is to basically let go of those, identify those subtle patterns that lie within our daily actions of how we're not allowing ourselves to fully just be, giving ourselves permission to fully be. The first step always to do that is to stand up for yourself. That is always the first step. So I'll give you the example of relationships, because often this happens through relationships, but I'll give you more examples too. But for example, in relationships, if somebody's holding you back, or somebody's you're never going to be 100% so-called perfect, do everything, because nothing is perfect. Look at this, no tree here is perfectly shaped. There's and that is what makes it actually perfect. That is what makes it so beautiful. If it was perfectly manicured, like the clothes that are created by machines versus one that is woven by hand, which has, you can tell the difference. The one done by the machine is perfect. There is no error. Everything is completely symmetrical. But the one that is done by hand, there's a certain flow in it, and that is actually what is alive. So when we allow ourselves to know that this is what it is, this is how I am, because other people will always be picking and blaming you for things, they'll be pointing out to you what is missing in your personality, what you don't do right, and all of that. And it's not that they are wrong, that what they're pointing out may, it may be valid, but at the same time, the problem is that we don't stand up for ourselves enough. Either we, we might get angry with them at first and we think that we're standing up for ourselves, but later on we're compensating in our relationship somehow. Like we think that we're not a good enough wife or husband or whatever, and we're compensating in some other way. Or there's an inherent thing running behind the scenes that even if we stand up for ourselves, we feel that, oh, everybody will just run away from me because I'm a difficult person, I'm difficult in relationships. So whatever these labels are, you are not a label. And when you let go of any of these labels that you have associated yourself with, that really just come down to your survival. You have formed them in order to preserve this ego, this identity that you're still holding on to. So you let go of any identity. So the real way to deal with a situation like this, let's say where people are blaming you or whatever, sorry, there's a lot of wind, so I'm going to come a little bit towards the camera. But if people are blaming you and you feel inherently that there's something wrong within it, that yes, you did not perform perfectly, you don't perform life perfectly, but at the same time you deserve nurture from other people, then there are ways to establish boundaries in order to do that, in order to say, no, I am not this. What I'm experiencing now through this other person, this criticism, is just a reflection of me, of how I am judging myself. And so you need to establish boundaries with that person somehow. However you do that is up to you, whether it's in a gentle way, a firm way, but it needs to be real. The point is that first we need to separate ourselves from those illusions, from those reflections. You see, all there is that exists in front of you in your life is you. All of these trees that I'm seeing right now, this moment, the way I'm experiencing it is all just me. It's like how I'm feeling, that is what is here in this moment, interacting with me. The way that I feel about, being in this moment now, if I'm a little bit scared, being alone in the wilderness, or if I feel that it's magical, all of that is a reflection of what I am experiencing myself as, this thing that is going on inside of me. So that is why you can actually never be separate. But the first step in the physical is to is to establish these boundaries and separate yourself properly, in a true way. Often we don't do that because we have this fear of losing a person, losing a job, losing whatever it is, that we need to actually have our boundaries from. We feel that this is all we'll get and this is all we deserve. So again, there's guilt when you feel that this is all that I deserve. Think about that thing, where you feel you're not getting enough of it in your life. There'll be this running theme inside of you that I don't deserve this somehow, or I didn't get it, I'm a victim. And that is, all of those things are just stories, and that is what karma is. So let go of that story. That story is not needed. What you are is not just what's happened in your physical life as you remember. You function at a multi-dimensional level. You exist in multi-dimensions. So when you access all of you, you realize you're like this Russian doll, that outer the biggest layer, let's call it, not outer, but it's like the largest layer of you, contains everything that happens inside of you. So you are the orchestrator. You are the one who is doing everything that is happening in your physical life is actually created by this larger you. And that larger you is the master that is you. And when you realize that I can create whatever I want, and any experience I'm having is fine because it's actually contained within me. All that I am, things that are happening, even if they're moving, let's say they feel unpleasant or even, quite critical in a moment. But it's actually all just me. There's nothing that is lost. It's just movements inside of me. And when you realize that, there's this freeness that comes, and you can let go of guilt as well. You can let go of this feeling that I did something bad and I deserve whatever I'm getting, which is not true at all. So what then is the quickest way to let go of karma? The quickest way to let go of karma is to release guilt. Find that area in your life where you feel like a victim, or you feel like you didn't get your due, or you feel like you don't deserve. And then find beneath that, why do you feel that way? And release that story. And know that everything is here. You can create whatever you want now. You have access to it. And you deserve it. Then the next step is to create a boundary with those reflections that are reflecting it to you on a constant basis, which is why you're stuck in that pattern, whether they're relationships, your career, whatever it is. You create some distance from it first. Allow yourself. It's not selfish. This is another thing that's created on the planet. They'll call it selfish in order to keep you small. It's not selfish. You need to create those boundaries from those relationships. Those reflections that you have created, whatever they might be. And then when you have actually, truly, at a really true, deep level, separated yourself and you can see yourself for what you really are. You spend time just being in silence, being alone, being in nature, and feeling what you truly are, all that you truly are in all of your layers, including the one that exists now that doesn't feel perfect, including the master self that knows it is perfect. When you allow yourself to feel that, at that point something really magical happens. You blend in with everything. It's like, in this moment I am this tree, I am this moment, I am just everything. And you don't judge anything because you love yourself. It's like, this is my hand, this is my head, this is my stomach, it's all of it is me. So how can I do things that harm me? And in that way you sort of start blending in with everything, because you've found a way to establish boundaries when things are, when you're feeling critical about yourself. You've established a boundary with that critic. And so all that is left in that moment then is love. And you start seeing yourself as love, and eventually you start seeing love even within those reflections that were reflecting to you, whether it's the people in your life. Let's say you don't have a good relationship with your mother, she's been abusive all your life. You start seeing how you are that too, and how that is also perfect, that is also love. That's just an aspect that also wants love. But the first step is to create that boundary and to really in truth, choose it again and again. Choose yourself. It's not selfish. And to know that you are perfect. It's fine to make so-called mistakes. We're all human. We're going to do that. The human part of you will do that. It's growing and evolving like a child. But there is this master self that knows it is always perfect, that all is fine, it's all perfect. And all I need to do is just stand back and observe. Even if someone's giving me feedback, it's fine. And to always create a space where you can create that stillness, where you can create, where you can experience yourself as you really are, in the perfection of how Source made you. So always create that space. And then, the next step naturally just happens on its own. You start blending in with everything, and then everything that's felt negative before, it finds a way of blending in. It's all just you. It's like that Russian doll metaphor I told you, that you become all of you become all that is, and it just feels magical and beautiful. But it can never be forced. The problem is that most spiritual people, they want to, again, that's an ego identification. It's not the real deal. Like, they want to be forgiving. They have these certain ideas of how enlightened people are, how people who have broken free from karma are, and they're trying to be it. So the real problem is, don't try and be good. There is no such thing as good or bad. That's it. The soul is always growing and expanding. It's going to make so-called mistakes, which are not actually really mistakes from the eyes of your higher self. So I'm going to stop talking now because my family is waiting and I have to leave. But I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, if I can make this any clearer. Maybe I'll make other videos in the future that'll be a little bit more succinct. But I'm in this beautiful nature place and I really wanted to make this video here. And of course, I'll in this video you'll find those clips from the temple as well. And leave your comments below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe, as that helps me out a lot, all of those things. And that's it. I'll see you very soon in the next video. Stay tuned.